Welcome everyone to a video about Baldur's Gate 3. So I've recently finished this game, and previously I've done two of these, one for Cyberpunk 2077 and one for Elden Ring. That is to say, a bit of an essay video talking about Baldur's Gate 3, a game that I've spent quite a lot of hours in. In fact, if we just check Steam real quick, I have 148 hours in the game. That's basically one playthrough. Yeah, this is a game that takes a while to play if you do what I did, which is to play fairly collectionist, or however you call that. Completionist, that's what you say. I played a pretty completionist playthrough. I definitely didn't do everything, but I did most of the stuff that you come across. And yeah, I thought that this being such an important game, at least for me, it definitely deserved a little bit of a essay video. Now, I'm going to be talking a bit about, what I like about the game, what I don't like about the game, and basically that's it. But from from the video title, which I've decided to call Baldur's Gate is the best game ever made, I think you get the point that I do believe just that. So before I continue, I just want to make sure that you understand that that title is very much my personal opinion. I'm not going to make a case here for Baldur's Gate 3 being some sort of objectively the best game ever made. This is very much my personal opinion based on what I like in games and whatnot. So there you go. That is what we're going to be talking about. And it is the case that I do have a fairly big thing that I dislike about the game, but I'm also going to talk about why that doesn't really make enough of a difference for me. I still do believe that this is the best game I've ever played. And to just get onto that point, whenever I'm asked, it doesn't happen often, but whenever I am asked what the best game I've ever played is, my brain doesn't really come up with anything. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't played any great games. I've played a lot of great games over the years, but to differentiate them to a point where I can say that one is so much better than the other ones that I can say that it's the best game I've ever played, I haven't really been able to do that. And my answers usually come down to like Worms Armageddon or World of Warcraft. I mean, they are great games in and by themselves. However, for the most part, the reason why I say that is because of the online functionalities of it, which is to say, I've had some great experiences in those games, not just in the actual playing of the game, but with the people that I shared those experiences with. So that's why I generally gravitate towards those games. But now I can say that yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game that I've ever played. It just ticks a lot of my boxes, let's just say. So yeah, that is basically the conclusion of this whole video, if you want. But if you want to keep listening to what I have to say, feel free to do so. Hopefully you will. So let's actually get to the big thing. And there is a big thing about this game that I dislike. And to me, it is a big thing. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me on this, but I feel that it is a big thing. And before I continue, I want to say that while playing the game, this hasn't been an issue. I haven't really thought about it. This is something I've been thinking about outside of the game. And even after having thought about it outside of the game, when I get into the game, again, I don't really think about it. Which is why, even though it is a big thing, it doesn't really affect my overall thought about the game. So, what is this big thing that I'm keeping you from knowing? Basically, it has to do with the main character. So, Larian in this game did something, to me at least, a little bit different. Doesn't mean that it hasn't been done before. I don't even know about their previous games. Maybe they did the same in Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. No idea. Haven't played those games. Have no idea at all how to create a character in those games. But the way that Larian did Baldur's Gate 3 is that you have a few choices when you create your character. You can create a character from scratch, just like normal, I say. But you can also pick one of the companions. And I think you can, yes, I think you can pick any one of the companions, apart from like the slightly odd companion, like Jaheira, Minsk, Minthara, a character that I killed, so I didn't even get her as a possible companion. So those are not options, but they're sort of regular companions, even including Karlach, who you do meet a little bit later if you play, how the game sort of wants you to play. You can obviously skip to her very quickly, if I'm not incorrect. But if you don't know about her and her location, then, well, you don't, which is what I did not. But anyway, that's besides the point. You can pick any one of those and play as your main character. But I'm gonna be honest, if I'd wager a guess, I would say that about 99.99% of all players who create their first character in Baldur's Gate 3 make a custom character, because it's a Dungeons and Dragons games. Why would you pick an already pre-made character? Well, you can pick your own and create exactly your own character and how you want that character to be. I think that most people did that. Here's my problem with that. My problem, by the way, isn't that you can create your custom character, obviously, or that you can pick one of the companions as your character. I think that those are fine choices, absolutely. The problem with the custom character in Baldur's Gate 3 is that they are a nobody. And by that I don't mean nobody as in the derogatory term. I mean a nobody as in we know nothing about the main character. Absolutely nothing. The game literally begins with you being in the pod, the Illithid pod, and you get the tadpole. That's how the game begins. There's absolutely nothing before. We don't even see from where you were taken, when you were taken. And to my mind, that's a bit weak. In fact, I think it's a lot weak. So, for example, if you compare to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, we can just say Baldur's Gate, because of course you play the same character in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And if you create a brand new character in Baldur's Gate 2, having not played Baldur's Gate 1, it is assumed that you sort of did the stuff that happened in Baldur's Gate 1, obviously. Anyway, so in that game, you begin in Candlekeep. You have people around, they absolutely know who you are. We know that we are Gurian's ward. We have Imwen, our childhood friend, basically. We don't know much about our past. I think it is mentioned that we are an orphan, I think. I don't really remember, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, you are known. You are known in Candlekeep. And just as a side note, I almost remember the first time I played Baldur's Gate 1, and when you get back to Candlekeep in what is it, chapter 6 or something, you've been out and you basically explored the entire world. You've done the whole Darkwood, is it Darkwood or Deadwood? Darkwood, I think, yes, Darkwood, where you flood the mines, etc., etc. That's about when you go back, or do you I think you go to Baldur's Gate first too, right? Yes, you do go to Baldur's Gate 2. You go to Baldur's Gate 2. Not the game 2. But then you come back to Candlekeep, because you need to do it, and Sarevok is there and everything. And it just feels like a return home, but you are a grown character all of a sudden, even though you haven't really been gone that long, even in-game you haven't been gone that long. There's just this big difference in just feeling, the feeling to coming back to Candlekeep. That is a side point, but I think I think it kind of paints a picture, because we don't know much about ourselves. We learn stuff along the way. I think I do not remember at that point in time, do we know that we are a child of Baal? Because that's a pretty big deal. And it's an interesting choice as well, because we're not the child of Lathander, we're not a child of Mystra, we're a child of Baal, the god of murder. And that puts a pretty big impact on the character. Now, I could make a different video talking about Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and how their narrative, the narrative of that game is a bit weak as well, especially considering other games like, let's say, Planescape Torment, which does a much better job at, talking about the main character, I think. In fact, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are almost action RPGs in that regard. But that's a different video. We still have the point that we are a child of a god, and not just any any god, but the god of murder. And so is Sarevok, so you're basically half-brothers. It's a whole big thing. We don't even need to know specifics about the past of the character. to know how to move forward with that knowledge. And we're still absolutely free to choose how to play the game. We're not pushed into being like a murderer. You can, but you're not pushed into it. You can absolutely play as you would, and you can pick your alignment and stuff like that. In Baldur's Gate 3, there's nothing. We know nothing about ourselves. We have no friends, no family, no past, nothing. I just don't like that. I literally do not like that. So to me, this is a really big thing, because for me, yes, okay, I suppose some people could make the argument here that, well, it's up to you to decide who you are. And that would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that there's nothing about that in the game. I can't click a few boxes, for example, to say, this is my past, anything like that. There's nothing. Yes, I could have it on the side for my own sake, but that's not my job, all right? It is the game's job to give me some sort of a past. But not only that, it also makes it weird, because why you? Why are you the character that does the things? In Baldur's Gate 1, we have a reason. We are a child of Baal. We have people coming after us because we're a child of Baal. Sarevok knows he wants us to be dead, so we are not a competition. And that sort of continues in Baldur's Gate 2, especially Throne of Baal. But in this game, why us? The answer is pure chance. I mean, the Emperor chose us not because we're special, not because we have some sort of, prominent past that would make us a good ally. We were just at the right or wrong, I suppose, place at the right or wrong time for him to just, target us. And the same obviously is true for the companions, who do have a past, by the way, but we don't. So why did he even bother with us? There's no reason. And throughout the entirety of the playthrough, we never become anything special apart from using the tadpoles. But all of that is just a function of the Emperor, protecting us. So we're basically a nobody, and we are a nobody, the derogatory term, because, well, we have no reason to be the hero, really. We become the hero because we do want to get rid of the tadpole, but again, why us? There's no reason. And that makes it a bit of a weak game development, idea or decision, maybe I should say, to do it like that. And I don't like it. I don't like it. But as I said, in the game, in the game, I haven't really thought about it a whole lot. Because in the game, you just keep on playing, you have a lot of options to create the character that you want. And as I said, when I started the series, I knew roughly where I wanted to be on the alignment chart, even though there isn't an alignment chart in this version of Dungeons & Dragons. I knew where I wanted to be. So I could still play by those rules and try to do my decisions along those ways. But as for, just a background, it would be nice to just have something. So that's my biggest thing about Baldur's Gate 3. The biggest thing that I don't like about the game. I always like everything else about character creation and stuff like that. But, for the sake of, just knowing your character, where you came from, where you're going, it's not really how I would have liked it, basically. So yeah, there you go. I do have some other smaller things as well that are more like nitpicks, and I can go through them if you wanna. And one of them actually has to do with animations, and not just regular animations, but specifically mouth animations. They're not that good, and it's a bit of a shame because a lot of the other animations are really good. To the point where I'm basically just gonna leave, by the way, the whole mouth animation there, and just say that it's not that great. It takes away a little bit from the feeling when you see people talk, that the animations aren't that good. But for the most part, I don't really care about it because, well, I'm one of those people who read subtitles, okay? Not because I need to necessarily, but, well, actually, to some degree I do need to, because I have ever so slightly a problem sometimes to pick up on what people are saying, which is why I, by the way, in real life, for the most part, watch people's mouths when they speak instead of like their eyes or something. it's because it helps me, pick up everything. I don't have like a hearing impairment or anything like that. It probably is just a mental thing, but whatever. So in this game, I have been reading the subtitles quite a lot, so mouth animations aren't really a big thing. But moving on to something I really do like, and something that for me really has become sort of the next level of how games like these need to be done, is animations, because there are a lot of conversation in this game, both with important characters but also smaller characters, and every single conversation has custom animations. Now, it is true that when you talk to very minor characters that might only have one line in the dialogue, you don't even have a choice to talk to them, the custom animation is, well, not that prominent. They usually just stand about and do almost nothing. But we're talking about slightly major characters. Every single dialogue is custom animated. Every single one. Compare that to, let's say, another game I'm playing right now, Starfield, where that isn't a thing. There's no custom animations, more or less. I think there are some, but for the most part, it's just not there. And the difference between how the story is told with regards to animations, it just makes such a big difference. It is why, to my mind, a big reason why Baldur's Gate 3 is as well regarded as it is. It's because of those animations, because they help tell the story. Yes, the battles are fine. The levels that you walk through are fine. It's a lot of I can mention, level design a little bit. The level design is great. So much stuff to find, so much stuff to get to. There are dungeons everywhere, which is why my series took so bloody long to do, because I explored almost everything. I probably missed a few things here and there, but for the most part I explored everything, and there's a lot to explore. I mean, it took me ages to just get to the Underdark. And that is basically given to you quite early on, but I felt that I was a little bit under level, so I did other things. But yeah, there's just so much stuff to do in the game. But getting back to animations, and the fact is that the animations do so much for this game. And again, looking at you, Bethesda, this is not a game, a video about Bethesda, but if Elder Scrolls 3 is anything like Starfield, I'm really sorry, but you've been overtaken, and quite seriously so. If you do not do what Larian has done with Baldur's Gate 3, oh, it's gonna be bad. You need to do that. And basically any game that wants to compete with Baldur's Gate 3 needs to do it as well. It is true, Cyberpunk 2077, for example, same thing there. Custom animations, almost every single dialogue is custom animated. But it feels like Baldur's Gate 3 is even further up on the next level to some degree. But on the other hand, those two games work a bit differently, because obviously Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person game, and all the dialogues, etc., are basically cutscenes, but you're, for the most part, free to move. Not always, but sometimes. Baldur's Gate 3, obviously, a bit more of a classic RPG. You get into a dialogue, you see different camera angles between yourself, and the person that you're talking to. So they're not they're similar but different. But yeah, it's such a big deal. Such a big deal. And well animated, I gotta say. Not just the fact that it is custom animated, but well animated. I'm gonna assume that there isn't any mocap stuff done here. So it is all just animation. And it's great. Now, one thing to just point out, however, is that I just started a new playthrough, by the way, because obviously. And I realized something, which is that there is the introduction video. I say video because it is a pre-rendered video, the bit with the tadpole and the nautiloid and everything like that. That's the only time when you have a pre-rendered video in the game. Everything else is within the game engine, including the ending bit, which I find a bit weird. It might be that we had one or two, now that I think about it, with the Elder Brain, maybe. But for the most part, it's all, I think, in-game footage, so to speak, or done in-game. I don't know why they decided to only have one proper sort of actual video, pre-rendered video, and not more, but I don't care that much. I don't care that much. If there is, by the way, talking about the ending cutscenes and stuff like that, if there's anything I do want to call out a little bit about just those scenes, is that there is sometimes a bit of a funky stuff going on with the animations. People or characters are jittering about a bit and stuff like that. It's not a big deal, and it doesn't happen that often, but it has happened, and I would assume not only for me. Now, talking about animations is a nice segue into the other big thing about this game, potentially even bigger than the animations, and that is obviously the voice acting. Oh yes, the voice acting. Baldur's Gate 3 has some of the absolutely best voice acting I've ever encountered in a video game. I say that, I want to be very clear, I have encountered. There are absolutely other games with good voice acting. I'm not dishing out on those games, but if I haven't played it, well, I can't really say much about it, can I? Baldur's Gate 3's voice acting is amazing. And some of the actors and actresses, of course, have had slightly more of a recognition, if you would. For example, Astarion, voiced by Neil Newbon. He has actually been given awards, at least 2 awards. That is to say, he won awards for his voice acting. I do enjoy the narrator, voiced by Amelia Tyler as well. Really, really solid work. And also really, really fun idea to have a narrator in a game like this that actually speaks. That's quite cool. I want to be very clear too. I'm really happy that they didn't do any like, oh, here's that character that narrated everything. It was Volo all the time or something like that. No, I'm really happy that they kept her to being a sort of outside voice, if you would, that didn't necessarily talk to the character but more to the player. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, those two, along with basically everyone else, Gale. I don't actually remember the name of you, but basically, that I say the voice actor, but more or less everyone, Raphael, as I said, Gale, Lae'zel to Shadowheart, absolutely. I mean, just such amazing voice acting. But one thing that I've been thinking about with regards to specifically Astarion, I would argue that one of the reasons why he has been such a prominent character in the game is not just the voice acting, it's also the voice acting in relation to the animation. If you remember the scene at the, for example, but there has been other scenes obviously as well, but the final scene when you defeat his vampire lord, yeah, that wouldn't have been nearly as good if he just voice acted, but we get the animation too, and those things together means that it's a proper acting thing, if you know what I mean. It's not just some dude talking to a microphone in a studio. It becomes an entire performance, and I just love that. And it's so well made. It's so well made, and it's what I would want. I would want Larian to do a. Would love to do them to do a remaster of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. It's not gonna happen, obviously, but to have those games in this engine and expanded upon with voice acting, everything like that. Oh, that would have been heaven. Heaven, heaven, heaven. But obviously, that's never going to happen, I don't think. So, yeah. Anything else I can talk about? I mean, I can't talk. There is one more. Yes, there is one more thing, at least, that I do find a bit annoying about the game. And it's items, as a matter of fact. Kind of the same as I had with Elden Ring, in that I think there are too many items. And I realized that there might be some reasons for this. Like, for example, as I said, I did a pretty completionist playthrough of this game, which basically means that I almost went everywhere, checked almost everything, which means that I, yes, found a lot of items. Now, if you play a slightly more straightforward playthrough of this game, obviously you're not going to find as much stuff. So then it becomes good that there are items here and there. But the thing that I'm mostly talking about with regards to item is the fact that there are a lot of weapons and a lot of armor pieces, etc., that when you come to them at that point in time, you almost definitely have something better already. And the game just keeps throwing these fairly low tier items at you, and it just becomes a bit annoying that you get so much stuff. I mean, absolutely, if you find, let's say, certain items and weapons carried by certain characters that are quite cool, etc., etc. Absolutely, throw those at us. But there are a lot of other items as well that just floats about in the game that I think could be left out. There are also certain items that I mean, I probably missed a few of these, or when I say missed, I don't mean missed as in haven't picked them up. I mean missed as in don't exactly know why they exist. So, for example, Infernal Iron is one of those. Yes, those are relevant for Karlach and Daman, up until the point where they're not anymore. So, for example, why are the Steel Watchers dropping Infernal Iron? As far as I'm aware, we can't do anything with them. Maybe we can, but I don't know. I haven't found a reason to use them, for example. There's also the whole point about these sort of slightly more specific items. There are so many just gray items. There are, for example, yeah, let's talk about that. Why are there just clutter in the game, like plates and cups and whatnot? Considering the amount of weapons and armor there are in the game, you're never gonna need those for, let's say, money, because there are a lot more worthy items to pick up, and there are a lot of those worthy items to pick up. So why is there clutter in this game? It doesn't necessarily feel important. Sometimes it might matter because you can throw items, for example, for distractions and stuff like that. Yes, but how often really do you need to do that? Not that often, I'm gonna say. So yeah, I think they could tone down the amount of just useless items in the game and potentially be a little bit more clear about what is and what isn't useful. As I just started a new playthrough, by the way, I was reminded of the two brains that you can find, the brain jars. I don't remember the names of them, but basically, I think that they are just trash. But they feel important, but they're not. Yeah, some of the items in this game, I think really needs to be described in such a way that you understand that, you don't really need to carry these with you if you don't want to, And for some of the items, you kind of don't exactly understand what you need them for. The items that are marked in orange. Because you have two kinds of items marked in orange. You have legendary items and you have just quest items. But some of the quest items, you don't really know when to use them, do you? Which is also a bit weird. But again, this is just a really, really tiny point. So with that said, I think I've sort of talked enough about what I like and don't like about this game. I know that this video might not be that long, but the point is, in the end, I think that this is the greatest game I've ever played. As I said, it ticks all of the boxes for me. Challenges, just sheer size of it, choices, the fact that they've incorporated Dungeons and Dragons to the point that they have with the actual dice rolls. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And there's so much information, so much stuff to read, so much stuff to listen to. It's just, I'm looking forward to playing the game again, which, as I said, I have started a new playthrough. By the way, I can mention that as a small thing. I was actually supposed to mention that, I think, at the end of the last episode, but bloody hell, that episode was long, so I didn't really feel like talking about that then. There is one thing that I completely missed about a certain function in the game. Withers, our lovely mummy, or whatever the hell he is, he gives you the choice to respec your character, which is fun. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm a warlock. That's a-okay. That's who I want to be. No worries. What I didn't think about, and I'm pretty sure that this is true, you can have any of your companions change their class, as far as I'm aware. Now, luckily, I didn't really have to, but that is absolutely something I might utilize in my new playthrough, because I've chosen to play as Gale. Because I thought, you know what, I want to see what happens if you play as one of the companions, if it's any way different. I haven't come that far. I'm actually not even off the Nautiloid. I haven't, played that much. But I'm afraid to say that there isn't a whole lot that's, like, different up until this point. I'm wondering if there are, like, dialogue choices that's gonna say Gale instead of, wizard or anything like that. But for the most part, it feels like the choices are exactly the same as if you play as a custom character, which is a bit weird to some degree, isn't it? Like, wouldn't it make sense if you are Gale and what you say is from Gale's perspective? But on the other hand, if they do that, then of course they would have been able, or they would have to do unique dialogue for every single character, for every single interaction, and well, that's not really feasible, is it? Maybe someone mods that in, I don't know, but yeah. So I'm gonna play as Gale and see what that's like, and I'm probably gonna play an evil playthrough and do all the evil stuff I can do. I do want to play as the Dark Urge as well, or have the Dark Urge being my background. That would be quite fun as well, because I've seen at least one image of said thing, where the main character holds Karlach's head, which has been chopped off. So I'm wondering very much about what that actually does for, you know, many of the situations in the game. Would love to find that out. But yeah, you know what? I think I've basically said enough about what I want to say about this game. It's such a great experience. As I said at the end of the last episode, it is a singular, unique experience, for me at least. And yeah, I'm just happy that this game exists. And I feel very sad. I'm very sad for all the upcoming games in the same genre. If they don't live up to the same, you know, level as Baldur's Gate 3, they're gonna have issues. It's just very sad for them. I mean, I'm being proactively sad for them here. Now, as a final thing, what I mentioned in the end, because as you know, at the very end of the game, you get thrown a party hosted by, I believe, Withers, the guy I mentioned before. And I felt, you know what, I've been playing for over 3 hours by that point, and let's just save this. And we're saving it for this video right here. So we're going to end by actually going back into the game for the very final bit, where I will be chatting with my people. I'll be talking to all of the people in there, see what they have to say, and as far as I've understood, I'll probably mention this again maybe, by the time that we have this little party, we've been, you know, doing stuff. I think the narrator said that me and Shadowheart, being my romance interest, we have been, you know, traveling Faerun, having a lot of experiences and stuff like that, so presumably everyone has been doing their thing. So it's gonna be nice to, you know, catch up with them, see how they fare now that the world is safe again. So yeah, with that, back into the game. And here we are, back in the game for a final little bit. When I say a little, we're going to be talking a lot, I think, so we shall see. So we have all of our people here. We have Shadowheart, we have Halsin, we have Jaheira, we have Karlach, the Illithid, who apparently is doing fine. We have Volo, we have our apparently hired bard here, Milil, who I've never seen at all. We have Astarion, Will, and everyone's basically just here. Happy Horson. That's an interesting name. You look very shady. We'll get to you as well. Don't know who you are. Of course, however, we're gonna start by talking to our lovely dog. Yes, of course, Scratch is gonna get our first attention.
Familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Now, why do you have the astral prism in your mouth? I suppose this is completely useless now? That's true. So what you got this time?
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw?
Oh, we're gonna play ball with the astral prism. Lovely. So, hold on though. How have you been?
Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with.
Well, you are clearly the goodest boy ever. Okay, happy to hear that you are safe and sound, and you had a nice time since we traveled together.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
Well, isn't that lovely? But it is quite a dangerous object, that's true. Probably not meant to play with.
You know best. but a little fetch never hurt anyone, as far as I know.
Uh-huh. Can I do this? Did I even get it? No, I didn't get it. Is it here? Yes. Where is it? Where is it?
What a lovely occasion
Oh.
this is.
Ah, you had that weird voice. That's true. Where the hell did it go? I can't see it. You dropped it in the grass. Damn it. Oh no, did you drop it on the... Oh no.
Very soon.
Did I already screw... Oh no, it's supposed to be... It is here. It is here. There we
How
go.
much further can I go?
For the love of God, it's right here. Pick it up. Oh no. Come on. And ah, there we go. I managed to do this one. There we go. Ah, got it. Now, Scratch, where did you go? Scratch. You're in the water. Can I indeed throw this away? Throw! Yes, Scratch, here you go. Here you go, Scratch. Play with the evil thing from before. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So, I think we should end with Shadowheart, considering the fact that she's our love interest after all. Volo, hello.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
I think Withers maybe didn't actually send you anything. You again! Getting yourself into trouble, I presume. Wonderful to see you, Volo. Have you been? Have you come seeking a statement for your next tell-all? That's presumably the thing, but you know what? I hope you've stayed out of trouble.
Always, my friend. But the villain I must needs slay today is my greatest yet. A deadline. You won't be surprised to find I'm soon to publish a little holiday read about our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
I think you are a little bit full of yourself, and also, hey, why are you faking my signature? Damn it. Okay. The Hero and I, you mean?
I, me, it's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you could just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Of course you would. I like Volo. I'm sad that he didn't have, like, a bigger part in this game. Like when you come to your camp and talk to him. It feels weird that he didn't have more to say. But anyway, let's chat with Will. Hello, Will.
Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up. I'll forget all that. By the stars' light and the moon's glow, it's so good to see you, and I've got so much to tell you. The Hell Hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated, the devilkin I've bled, the stories I could share. I don't suppose you'd indulge me.
I mean, isn't that why we're here after all? Also, bloody hell, that is some armor right there. Kind of feels like you would be poking yourself with it. Okay, I'm not interested, Will. Okay. Until a battle told by the legendary Blade of Avernus, I'm all ears. Sounds like you're faring well without your infernal powers. Yes, it does.
I won't lie. Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was hellfire. So I stoked new fires in myself using the lessons my father once taught me. The Blade of Avernus is a ranger, a hunter of the most hellish prey. That ranger's left a mountain of corpses in his wake, and collected a tale or two. You'd indulge in one, yes?
Alright then, well, you know what? To the point that I made earlier, can you change the classes of the companions? Because you are indeed a warlock, so if I just change your class, well, how does that work? I might actually be wrong about that. I haven't even tried it. Anyway, so, okay, you know what? Why don't you tell me a bold story here?
Yes, but just the one, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx, the three-tusked Orthon, or the invading Goristroy?
I mean, we've dealt with Orthron ourselves. I haven't heard neither Amnizu or Goristroy, so I don't know what they are. But at the Styx, that sounds fun.
Styx devils, they're called. They usually prefer the frozen wastes of Stygia, but Zariel's got a few of her own for guarding the River of Blood. Fat bastards, all of them. Was on the heels of Amerigan who'd been stalking the wild hills and sprinted a little too close to the Styx. I felt my mind start to drain, an Amnitsu speciality. Bought just enough time for one of its minions to grab me and dangle me over the river. Could feel the Styx tugging at my memories as I hung over it, eager to drink me dry. Good thing I never touched foot in the hells without my companion wolf, Lily. She was just the distraction I needed. She nipped at the minion's heels and I leapt from its grasp, unsheathed my short swords, and rushed at the Amnitsu in a fury. When we'd finished, all that remained was a pair of paltry wings atop a pile of viscera.
Well, isn't that lovely? So, okay, we can be a bit friendly, I suppose. You were a pleasure to be around. Not so much, but, you know, why not?
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side.
Well, good that you said that.
Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Oh, well, you're so charming. Anyway, why do you have... You're astrally projected, Lae'zel. You're actually not here. Oh, that is interesting. Hello, Minsk.
Ah, breathe deep, Pooh. The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. Ah, to meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Yes. Honored, of course.
Now, who the hell are you, Happy Horson? Which is, by the way, not spelled as I thought it would spell. Depending, or rather, considering how it sounds. And also, we get to see Boo. He's actually there. Lovely. So, okay. Good to see you, Minsk, Boo, and Happy.
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, hmm? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing achsome.
So, you're chasing after the guild, but why did you bring Happy here? That's interesting. And also, yeah, didn't you make peace with them?
So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 Fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels. And so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site. Even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
No, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or die.
Oh. Oh, gods.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done.
And also, by the way, I'm still confused as to why we didn't get Minsk in the final battle. We got you here as Harpers, but nothing from Minsk. So okay, just live my life, now found someone to live it with, happily putting all of this behind me, finding more adventures, honestly, been missing all of you mostly. I'm just gonna say, living my life.
Aha, the lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a companion? Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. That is, none of Minsk's business. Now, Halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends. So you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, Devil-Horned and Angel-Hearted. Lae'zel of Creshkiller, true child of Gith, and true friend to Boo, though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where. Gale, the man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too. Shadowheart, two gods dogged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there, the champion of having tentacles, Karlak. She was once very tall and strong like Minsk, but we still like her as she is. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. Study them well, sneak thief, for the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves, who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
Well, that is certainly interesting. I'm still not 100% sure who Happy is.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay, who do we have here? We have Gale. Hello, Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in.
Well, Gale.
Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Well, that's a fancy title. You can find yourself to the School of Illusion. I'd have thought you could teach the entire curriculum. That's true.
I did offer, as a matter of fact. However, the Blackstaff insisted I couldn't teach every subject, nor could the simulacra of myself I offered to create for that purpose. So I've settled for teaching the art of illusion. Magic to confound the senses, to render the impossible into reality, and to allow expression of that most magical attribute of all, imagination. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. She sought me out. Not long after, we went our separate ways, and assured me neither she nor the orb should pose me any threat in the future. Of course, it's still in there. A constant reminder of my former hubris. And a surprisingly effective means of keeping my more disobedient students in line. Perhaps a tad too effective. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Well, they have you for a teacher, so there you go. And as a warlock I can say, I'm glad to hear that the weave is not fodder for idle study. It's dangerous and should be treated as such.
Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Ah, you have a cat with you. I'm happy that I had Speak to Animals activated. I'm afraid were I to indulge my recent activities, I'd have to kill you. Or rather, my patron would.
From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
I mean, it would be me throwing Eldritch Blast a lot, but, you know, that's useful, I think. So, of course, but I'm afraid I have to be 2-for-1 deal. My patron won't be able to resist the thought of a captive audience. I'm not sure why I'm bringing up my patron all the time here, but, well, actually, you know what? On this occasion, it's not the Emperor, it's my actual Warlock patron, I think. So, yeah.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Absolutely. So there we go, there's you. Now we do have some other minor characters, don't we? No, we actually don't. I sort of did, you know, alternate between them here a little bit. Let's chat with Karlach.
Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would.
Ooh, you speak a little bit more like an Illithid now. Intriguing. So, okay, how have you been?
Honestly, never better. My life is so rich now, so multifaceted. I've wanted to share it with you, but maybe I was scared. I've changed so much. But then again, so have you.
That is true. Maybe not that much. Ooh, I can do something here. Observe the sheen of mucus on her skin. The tentacles where her mouth once was. Can this really be Karlach? I mean, we know it is, but I won't do that.
If that's admiration or revulsion on your face. Or maybe something else entirely. I'd ask you what you'd been up to for 6 whole months, but then I'd have to reciprocate. And I'm not sure you're ready for the truth.
Oh, go on then. How many skulls have you eaten? Because that's basically what you're talking about, right? You haven't been haunting the sewers eating people's brains, have you? Of course she has. She needs to. After all we've been through together, you don't have to hide anything from me. There we go.
Let us test that theory. Do you remember how my favorite food used to be mutton chops? I'm now far more interested in, well, brains.
Uh-huh. Comes with Illithid territory, I suppose. I'm gonna be very supportive here. So the old Karlach would be aghast. Those can't be easy to come by. How do you get them? Yeah, but you know what? That's just you being an Illithid. It has to be done.
True. But I've found ways to maintain my values while respecting that which I am. that which made it possible for me to live. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds, and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together.
Alright. Also, by the way, like the fact that she's still burning, even though she's lifted. And by the way, as a point to Karlach, I never ever used one of the soul coins. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. And that's a bit of a shame, I think. Maybe they get more relevant if you are playing as Karlach, as your main character. I don't know, but yeah, to this day I have no idea how those work. I should probably have tried them at least once, you know, I did pick up quite a lot of them. But alright, then, so you basically working as, you know, the last thing people see if they've chosen to end their lives. I mean, that's quite beautiful.
Thanks, soldier. It feels that way too. It's been wonderful to see you again. Reminds me of old times around the campfire. We used to think becoming a mind flayer was a fate worse than death. I wouldn't trade my life, this life, for anything. Funny how things change, isn't it? Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will.
Alright, well that was indeed interesting. The fact that she's now very much talking like in the Lithid, although still retaining some of her old Karlach within her. That's interesting. And it's nice that she got a, let's just say, a more kosher way to consume brains, instead of just indeed prowling the sewers. That's very nice. Also, you just stepped up. Hello, Jaheira.
Well now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Hold on, that means that you thought that I was ugly before. I miss you too.
Ah, how nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh?
Okay, interesting. So, Rumor Stopper City was destroyed beyond recognition. United proceeded the city restored to its former glory. Grown so fond of the city more than my birth home in some ways. Where's my birth home? We don't know. Probably in the Underdark somewhere. So how do you think the rebuilding is going? What are the Harpers up to? Yeah, what are the Harpers up to?
What else? Helping. Whether I ask for it or no. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again.
Well, at least she seems like a decent kid, but I did not even know you had children. But that's fun. So, yeah, there we go. Wait, you have children?
Ah, yes. Forgive me. There wasn't much time to offer hospitality with an elder brain looming over the city. They ask about you, of course. But I keep them a little too busy for stories. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Alright, yes. So my home is with Shadowheart. Lovely to say. No matter how far away I may be, the gate will always be the first in my heart. No, probably not. Where we're standing now, this campsite is my home, even when I'm far away. Let's just say Shadowheart. Let's make sure that people know we are indeed an item.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
That is absolutely a possibility. It could be that this guy has. Can I talk to you, like, individually? Can I?
He's going to kill me, isn't he? Not the big mad bastard. The hamster.
Nah, he doesn't kill, he just gouges out your eyes. It's absolutely fine, don't worry about it. Astarion, you had some issues with the sun last time we saw each other. Let's have a bit of a chat.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
Well, I have been getting rid of the, you know, illithid thingamabob that was on my face, so that's lovely. So you can thank my partner for that. Being with them has been a blessing. I've been living, seeing as much of the world as possible. After everything, I wanted to keep helping people. Probably haven't done that. I've been boring, living a quiet life. You know what? Living, seeing as much of the world as possible.
You've become a traveller and a vagabond. A soul after my own heart. But I'm glad to see the world has treated you well. You've earned it. We both have, in fact. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends.
I am, by the way, a bit curious about this whole the place where everything started business. Is this supposed to be like the first camp that you set when you are in the first area? Because that might be it. I don't remember it that clearly. So, okay, you seem happy, I've been drinking, last time I saw you were running from the sun. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dark and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
And just to sort of hammer the point in, did you see that? The animations, the voice acting. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. So, okay, I could have told you that that was a good thing for you, or rather that you would be good at that, yes. The star, you one of the good guys, who would have thought? Sure, as long as there's something in it for you. No, yes. A good guy, who'd have thunk it?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
And in my second playthrough, I'm absolutely going to try to ascend him, because I kind of failed at that, not knowing exactly how to do it. So, do you ever miss walking in the sun? What's next for you? Going to keep living the good life? You seem happy? Or is you happy drinking blood? That's a good question.
No, this is all me. I swear. Don't get me wrong. I was a mess at first. Every day I yearned for the sun and mourned my curse to live in the shadows. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Well, isn't that lovely to hear? Okay, more worse than better, I'd say. No. Be friendly to him, of course. Acceptance does look good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Aw, that's a lovely finish right there. You know what? Yes, this is the first scamp. I just realized that now, looking at this thing. I wasn't really... But it didn't really look like this, did it? There is some stuff over here. Ah, Withers is here. I'm assuming that we sort of end with Withers. Maybe he has something planned, potentially. But we need to talk to Halsin. Hello, Halsin.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
Ah, it's been 6 months. I don't think we've heard that before. So, okay, just as nature intended. Feelings mutual, I missed you. Honestly, time has flown by. You sound almost sentimental, considering we didn't really get along. We kind of did. I just wasn't romantically interested in you. But yeah, just as nature intended, huh?
Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Okay, well, that's fine. Sounds like you need a hug. Sounds like you need a drink. And that's life. Future sounds right. Who knows what we might yet share together. There we go. That's a diplomatic answer.
You are right, of course. I am accustomed to dwelling on the past, even when it brought me nothing but unhappiness. You changed that, and gave me the most precious of memories. Now the task is to make yet more of them, so that each reunion shall be all the sweeter. And who's to say we need to make such gatherings a rare occasion? My hearth is yours to warm yourself beside always. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Well, not so much. So, okay. Finally, yes, let's talk about me. I like that one. I don't want to talk about it. Stay eager a little longer. I'll come back to you later. No. Why don't you go first? Okay, talk about the life you've made and people you've helped.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Well, isn't that indeed wonderful? So that's the balance you wished for, must be a downside. Recall you have quite a few young wards to care for. Yes, 9 wagons of them.
Ah, my greatest purpose and greatest reward. Those children have been through more than fate had any right to cast at them, and yet they go on as resilient as anything in nature. I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, they teach me far more. The land we saved is theirs, and they will cherish it, I'm sure. Thaniel and Oliver shall never want for friends again.
Well, isn't that lovely? So, okay, my turn, I suppose. But I don't know, let's just say I'm glad you're happy.
As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see, my charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
Okay, Daddy Halsin was not a phrase I thought I'd heard today, but now I've heard the phrase Daddy Halsin, so that's lovely. Okay, had it on bedtime tales for this possibility. I've sought you out at camp. I expect you'll have a few tales that we need to wait until they're older. Let me see what I've got here.
I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Yes, don't be all ears, that's silly. So regale Halsin with tales of your past 6 months, or, the truth may be a little flat, spice it up a little. Oh, of course we're doing that. Why don't we have a final deception here? Quite handsomely done.
You are truly incapable of disappointing. The children shall be wrapped, and have no fear. All due credit shall be given to the tale's originator. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Okay, we can talk a bit more. And yeah, you know what? Thaniel, Oliver, how much do you see them?
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's lovely. So, still partial to roam in bear form. I can say you seem more settled than I expected of you. I thought this was against your nature. What of the grove? Yeah, what about the grove?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
And of course, if we had killed Koga, that would have been a different thing he would have said. So, okay, what about being in bear form? Still doing that, huh?
I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
And that's very lovely, yes, but also, you seemed a bit more settled than I expected of you. Isn't that against your nature?
As did I, but Somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
Indeed, lovely. And you know what? I'm not gonna ask for her. Okay, fine, fine. The option is there. Might I bum a hug?
By all means.
Daddy Halsin.
Your embrace makes me feel safer than any armor could.
It kind of feels like the game is very much pushing you towards Halsin, doesn't it?
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
I mean, see, even stuff like this, if we're talking about Starfield, for example, Starfield would never have this, where you sort of get random objects and you have it actually in your hand. Never would have happened. Okay, does it do anything? Well, it's a whittled duck. What do you think it's gonna do? Sentimental creature at heart, you know that? This may fetch a modest price. No, it's lovely, thank you.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
We'll see about that. I get a whittled duck. Let's have an examine on that. It's a whittled duck. A duck whittled out of wood. It smells in the deep forest. Lovely. It has some resistances to piercing, necrotic, psychic immunity, poison immunity, radiant resistance. Well, that's all fair, I suppose. Now, I think I've talked to everyone. Can I talk to you? Can I get up there? Yes, I can. Hello, can we chat to you, whoever the hell you are? Hello.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Have you heard about this song called Wonderwall? I would love for you to play that. So the music's fine, unvetted guests are not, were you? You seem glum. I thought bars were meant to be full of pep and joy. Actually, would like to hear a different song. Yeah, what's up? You seem a bit down.
I find it hard to summon up the trademark pep these days. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little.
Okay, well, I know exactly who you are. No, on this occasion, I'm not going to be deceptive. So exactly how is it that you know Withers?
I owe him a favor, one he is eternally invoking. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another.
I'm gonna assume that this is better though, right? Fugue plane, what the hell is that and what were you doing there?
Languishing in obscurity. Cyric knew what he was doing when he punished me for that song, the prick. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess how many I get now? None. I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Oh, didn't get the religion check there. So wait, is it all coming back to me now? I know who you are, what an honor. So, okay. Well, none of the other ones are interesting, obviously. So we're gonna do a deception check. 18. Oh, I might fail this one. I didn't. Lovely. I know exactly who you are.
You know? You're bloody right. It is an honor. Finally. The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for?
Well, there's the pep and joy. Change the song, please.
Your wish is my... etc. What song do you want?
Okay, what do we have here? Something lively, encouraging dancing, about something thoughtful, rich and warm, nostalgic and gentle, composition, something we never heard before. You know what, let's go for dancing.
Fantastic idea. It'll suit the whole affair perfectly.
Lovely, so now he's just gonna go and do that. But with that, I think we have indeed spoken to everyone apart... No, we haven't talked to Lae'zel. Bloody hell, forgot about Lae'zel. Very easily to do. I'm sorry, that was a joke. Hello, Lae'zel, you're not here. Where are you?
For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Okay, but we're not, like, really toe-to-toe, are we? Because you're not here. Yes, a little bit less solid, you know. So I figured Lich Queen were dead by now, so hold up. Your first efforts to topple Blackens as well underway, but no, you're looking a bit less solid here.
A bit. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure my projection. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This... Fey Run.
I mean, Faerun, but still. So are you now that you could appear in the flesh? That's a good question.
Shractalor.
Uh-huh. Should I have heard about this?
I wouldn't expect you to. The capital city of the Githzerai. An exiled people, once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to their god king Zareth Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Okay. So you're on a diplomatic mission, that's intriguing.
Exactly the reaction I expected. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Indeed. So, okay. Any chance I'll see you again?
Soon. When the comet has risen. When the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust. I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlaakith's Vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go. Mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Alright, I mean, lovely to have heard of you. But now for the important one. Hello, Shadowheart.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this... It's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm Waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
Now, why would you have fallen leaves stuck to your backside? I mean, you would be sleeping on a bedroll, right? Are you saying that we did something? Never mind. Don't worry, you'll start enjoying yourself in no time. I can pinch you if you're afraid this is real. Your backside is just fine, trust me. I've been checking regularly. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas?
What was that sound? Something just happened. Okay, I am your willing accomplice in all things. What do you think is worth telling? Or I doubt we could bore them even if we tried. Think of all we've gotten up to this last while. Okay, let's give it back to her. Anything you think is worth telling?
Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing Bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else.
Oh, that was a bit of a weird miss there in the text, because she said we've squeezed in a lot, but the text said we squeezed a lot. I think that squeezing and the squeezing in are two separate things. Well, what I truly need is a kiss. Come here, let me hold you. I'm back soon. No. Let's do a kiss. Not the last one, but a good one.
That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet.
Well, I think we have time for that, but okay, we can also just be held.
Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right. I could get lost in those arms.
Well, good to hear.
With
so,
music
okay.
in the air and wine flowing, I think I'll manage. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
Oh, maybe we should have talked to you first, actually. Maybe. But yeah, what the hell was making that sound just before? Oh, well, maybe we should have talked to her first. I don't know. But, right now, we have... No, that's Lae'zel. You're chilling out there. That's Gale's slow place. Lovely. I would like to check... Oh, hello. Baldur's Mouth Gazette. Well, that's probably gonna tell the story of me, right? Let's have a look. Absolute emergency over, declares Fist. Lasted if it's routed from sewers. Criminals consolidate. Guild uses rebuilding efforts to expand power. Baldur's Mouth editor resigns. Links to Gorta's regime unfounded. Shares's raconteur. Shares's raconteur. Raphael reported dead, that's true. Black market, black magic, devil's fee goods still unaccounted for. So Selenite outpost decimated by unknown assailant, now protected by the sword of Zeluna, Dame Aelin. Yeah, you know what? Dame Aelin and Isolde, why are... No, not Isolde, Isabel. Why are they not here? They should be here. So we have a bunch of... Oh, hello. We have a bunch of stuff. Chest of Grateful Words. Okay, so now we're going to do a bunch of reading as well. Bloody hell. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, for the love of God. Okay, fine. To the hero of the realms, we have followed your adventures closely from the day you fell from that doom not loyal to the final blow you struck the Netherbrain as it loomed over the Sword Coast. We are but a humble guild who pride ourselves in telling stories, not unlike the tales to be written of you for many years to come. How inspired we have been to witness your feats, awesome and terrible, the lives you saved and sundered, the friendship you found. Thus we thought to extend a greeting, to thank you for adventuring with such creative determination, such panache, enough to touch the hearts of each of our number. With deepest gratitude, the Guild of Great Genius. Then we have a letter from Art Colleague, that is. So, to an old acquaintance, I write you from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then. People are milling in and out, builders, visitors, the children of all ages in Halsin's care. I can no longer hold a quill or eat without assistance. A kind friend is transcribing this for me. Daniel, rejoined with Oliver, has promised to be with me when the end comes. And as our old songs drift on the wind ever louder, I know I have mere days left. But I do not fear it. If not for your help, this land would still be shrouded in darkness and I'd still be lost within it. Know that my heart is full and happy, and I am grateful for my last moments. I do visit someday, and if you have time to stop by an old flame of his grave, I know I'd love to see you from Art. Oh, that's a bit sad, but also nice. Alfira. Oh, for the bloody hell, stop writing so much. So, hello friend, I'm sorry it's been so long. Turns out running a school of bards is a touch more tricky than I thought. Who knew birds were so dramatic? I bought a small rundown house in the lower city and spent weeks putting down floors and replacing the windows. Turns out I'm quite handy with a hammer and nail. When I was relatively sure the roof would hold, I decided it was time to open. I put up posters and took out an advertisement in the Baldur's mouth. Gods, I was so nervous. I kept having nightmares that no one would show. But my goodness, did they. Children from patriarchs to peddlers lined the streets. The queue almost went to Rivington. Turns out being friends with the hero of Baldur's Gate has its upsides. I'm teaching night and day and fall into bed utterly exhausted every night. And I've never been happier. Thank you, my friend. Lots of love from Alfira. Yeah, we kind of drifted away from her a little bit at the end there. Now we have Edvard, a small excerpt from a self-published polemic tabloid. Okay, I will not be silenced. Needling with Edvard. Friends, Baldur is my people. Consider our loss. Our lauded and benevolent patriarchs maimed. Our great upper city library is demolished. The very beating heart of our great city, the right to speak freely. Dead upon the cobbles. Do you not see, my friends? Lord Gortash, formerly our greatest bulwark against the Absolute, is now smeared as a collaborator. His allies and colleagues tossed aside. Former publications of repute turning to censorious farces. I ask you, was this really what you wanted to send me? Then we have Floric, indeed. Dear friend, I doubted you for so long. Perhaps you knew that already in spite of my best attempts. You proved yourself time and again at Walking's Rest, in Moonrise Towers, in Worm's Rock, and still I doubted. The Netherbrain's defeat should have proven your courage, yet I was more doubtful than ever. This was a ruse, a dream, a trick. And then, one eve, from the elf song, I heard it, singing. A raucous, lewd, tuneless, drunken refrain. I never heard anything more terrible and more beautiful. I raised my voice and joined the chorus. That was the moment all my doubts melted away and were replaced by something more valuable. Hope! Baldur's Gate will be whole again. I might have doubted you, but you never did. With profound admiration. Lovely. Now we have Barkus Root. That is a name I not necessarily remember. To my main concern, Withers gave me this address and said I could consider writing. Well, I consider it, return address included. Well, I don't know who you are, but you didn't give me much to go with here. Go on. Demon, hey there. Would you mind passing this on to Karlak? Thanks, Emil. And to Karlak, if you're reading this, you're alive. One way or another, you found a way. Thank the gods. I think of you often, wondering what's become of you. Write to me, won't you? Please, from Demon. We have Elminster. Oh, you're gonna... No, you didn't write that long, actually. Thought we were gonna have several pages. And he's writing to Gale. Gale, my boy, I can only apologize for my absence from Wither's little gathering. As you know, only the most urgent of business would keep me from indulging myself in his excellent taste in sweet meats. And your esteemed company, of course. I was delighted to hear that you came to your senses with regards to the cursed crown, and delighted yet further when I learned that the orb's malingering presence no longer poses any threat. In that sense, at least, I hope you feel Mr. treated you fairly. I trust you're enjoying your adventures. I have to say, I struggle to picture you outside of Waterdeep, or your library for that matter. Wherever your escapades take you, be sure to keep your larder well provisioned. After all, one never knows when an old friend might stop by. Lovely. And then Nocturne. for you, dear Shadowheart, okay. I hope that you're happy and well. I must keep this short, as I remain surrounded by Char's followers at almost every waking moment in my new enclave. I dearly wish for you to enjoy your night spent with old friends, and I hope that you and I shall share such a reunion. I know it must seem strange for me to dwell on such heretical thoughts, yet I cannot help myself.
I wish it could last
Perhaps
forever.
one day I shall find some measure of the bravery that you did and walk away from this life. Until then, I shall keep safe and hold memories of you as my one ember of light amid an ocean of darkness. Until we find each other once again. Who are you? Nocturne. That's odd. I don't remember that. Okay. Hope has also written. Okay. I had a dream last night. Not that there are any nights here or any days. It was a dream about you, all of you, and you were here with me. And I had served bread and jam and own crackers and cheeses and enough tea to quench a dessert. You nibbled and sipped and smiled and laughed, and you asked if I was happy. Nobody has asked that for so long that I don't know if anyone ever asked at all. I didn't have words to answer, so instead I led you through my house and showed you all the souls that are here with me. They were Raphael's once, but now they only belong to themselves. The archive is an art gallery, the boudoir is a grand kitchen, and the dungeon is a refuge for any wounded soul or creature that finds its way to us. Am I happy? I don't know, but I am hope, and I persist because of you. Lovely. So, Mayrina. Oh, for the love of God. Okay, thought I'd reach out for first for once. I finally have my baby, a beautiful boy. I can't believe I ever thought of giving him up. He screams his head off half the night, and I barely slept, but I'm the happiest I've ever been. Other than my wedding day, of course. I decided to name him Connor after his dad. With Ethel gone, myself and some other hag survivors have started our own publishing house. We've only printed a few pamphlets so far, but I'm halfway through my first book. Me, an author, is like something out of a dream. Mind you, it's all about how to kill hags, but you know what to say, write what you know. With every pamphlet we publish, more people show up to our support groups. As happy as that makes me, it breaks my heart to see how much harm Ethel did. But as long as I live, another hag won't set foot in Baldur's Gate, you have my word. Anyway, the reason I'm writing isn't just to talk your ear off, it's to say thank you for saving a scared young girl who thought she'd be a terrible mother. I couldn't have been more wrong. Next time we meet, pints on me from Mayrina. And then we have 9 fingers. I'm not much for leaving my city, but it does gladden a girl's heart to be asked to the ball, so thank you for that much. In my place, except a few casks of a fine vintage that managed to roll their way down from the upper city in all the commotion, the rebuilding has given rise to many such happy opportunities, worth discussing over a more civilized drink in my guild hall if you find yourself at a loose end. Enjoy the muck and see if you can get the high harper to sing. You won't be disappointed. Ooh, lovely. And then finally from the Emperor. Okay. My friend, we do not communicate as Illithid should, but I will allow it. Consider it an indulgence towards your former life, a life that you cling to yet with this notion of celebration. I cannot fault you. I myself did the same. It was some time before I myself grew to accept my own evolution, and to recognize that it was indeed evolution. Make what memories you must tonight tease your passage into the future. In time, those you cherish so dearly will become just that, fond memories and nothing more. And when that time comes, call on me. My mind will be ever open to you. Cool. And then we have a bunch of Baldur's Gate mouth cassettes. 6 months since the assassination of Archer Gortash, Small Sun, tour new district built by Elturian refugees, Vienna's House to host Evening of Art and Culture celebrating Salvation. We have new Bardic School, indeed, Tiefling Founder, secure Upper City founding, Czar sick, silence continues at Noble's Palace, well he's very dead. We also have another one, Last Holdout Cultist clear from Temple of Baal, Volo Thamp Get Arms, Guide to Baldur's Gate, Bard's contributors to newest edition. So that's Volo. Iron Throne Wreckage continues to block shipping lanes, complaints merchants, yes, fine. Iron Throne Wreckage though? How does that block anything? I don't know. Not a goblin, creature spotted crawling along Elfsong Bar reported to be Githyanki Child. Okay. And the seller is bound for lands upriver amid claims curse is lifted. Lovely. That is good to hear. We also have Wave 7 murders solved. Will Ravengard refuses father's role? Who will lead next? Gondians disband. Gon's time has come and gone. Murders by unholy assassins continue. Also, we have some stuff down here, by the way. Planar Appliance, City Cart in center of Githyanki War. There's also some on the other ones. And then finally, report Stonelord killed by beloved Ranger. I mean, not really. Thorm's army dispersed from Baldurian borders. Harp is out of hiding, secretive sect stepped forward to aid city. All among the cakes of Avernus, a Turian refugee and owner of city's newest cafe, shares a recipe. Lovely, same pictures as before too. So that's that. A dagger plus 1. Yeah, some. If we want to play a bit, we could, but I'm again not proficient with that. So it's only really Withers. I'm vaguely assuming he's gonna do something. Like, okay, have you spoken to anyone, or rather everyone? Fine. Let's... Ooh, I can disintegrate stuff. There's a scroll here, not a spell. A missive in Wither's hand addressed to some unknown entity. Though you understand the alphabet, the script, and the words themselves, the meaning eludes you. You glean only the impression of dark sun in white sky, and an offer, or perhaps a warning. Simona's Guide to Baldur's Gate, we also have here. For my adventure, some muse, our fates are bound, my wisdom past, I dearly hope our kinship lasts. Deepest affection, Volotham Gedarm, poet, artist, savant. Poorly drawn map of the city is captioned in the flamboyant script. What follows is the most thorough and accurate account of the city and people of Baldur's Gate, the sordid gem of the Sordid Coast. And an editor's note in crimson ink follows, V. This volume is startlingly accurate, save for the nonsense about the Black Dragon Gate. It is not alive, no matter how many vagrant hags claim otherwise. Commission someone else to draw the map. Lovely. And the Mind Flayer specimen, should I want one? Gold pendant, Book of Willing Souls. Stop with that. Neat list of Baldurians and the deaths that befell them beneath an annotation from Withers. Souls snuffed out in the battle for the Baldur's Gate. Perhaps some may deign to return should their city ever need again. Sovereign Ortholo, crossed by a falling roof as he held the door for others to flee. Nance D, charged a mind flayer that entered the Grand Daughter's room, died with her second best scissors in its eye. Burley Quickflint brought an old light down over the bay. Cool. And a recipe for arcane cultivation. Cool, we don't really need that. And the recipe, sorry, essence of planar, what did that say? Planetar feather. Hello, Withers.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
I mean, that is true. It has happened before, after all. Maybe not in such a way, but still. So I feel satisfied, accomplished everything I wanted to, did my duty, can help me feel some things have been left undone, I'm getting tired. I think I caught up with everyone. What comes next? Yes, you know what? Let's just go with that. I've caught up with everyone. What's now?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
Alright then, so that is a nice little ending there. So to Baldur's Gate, to the greatest friends I could dream of, to brains without worms and a good night's sleep, to the hope of more adventures to come. Yes, for the friends, because that is after all why we're here.
To you.
And with that, we actually get the ending bit. Lovely, I thought that I was wondering when this is gonna come. So there we go, that is the proper ending of Baldur's Gate 3. I really hope that you enjoyed the series, by the way, and I hope that you enjoyed my little thoughts on the game as well. These are the heroes of this game, I'm gonna say. Anyway, what's gonna come after this? Well, there is a game that I'm gonna be playing, and in fact, this is a bit annoying to some degree. The game releases, when this video releases, it's basically any day, like in a few days or something like that. However, I'm on vacation, so I'm not going to be able to record as that game releases, which means that I'm going to have to fill it in with something else. But it can't be that long, it has to be sort of in the realm of strategy, etc, etc. So guess what we're going to be playing? We're going to be playing Civilization 6. We're at 6. We're going to be playing Civilization 6. It's been a while. The series on Civilization 6 that I've done haven't been that long. I think that would be a very, very good thing to just cleanse our palate with a bit. But after that, a new game. Maybe you'll already know which one it is. So yes, indeed, we're going to be doing a bit of Civilization 6 after, and then we do something else. But yeah, this is the end of Baldur's Gate 3. It's been a bloody ride, hasn't it? Oh boy. For now, this has been Ghostmith Gaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.